18 inches. It's a fair old bit of water.
On December 5th, 2015, Storm Desmond got stuck in his path and dumped over 13 inches of rain in 24 hours, flooding 5,200 homes in Cumbria and Lancashire.
The water, it's like right next to, right just behind the hedge. So we're getting very, very scared.
As soon as we knew the river was going to flood, we gathered supplies and moved everything we could to higher ground. It wasn't necessary for us to evacuate, so we camped upstairs while we couldn't get out the house. The water was 2 foot deep in the house for 24 hours before it drained away. At Linstock, the River Eden rose to be 5.69 metres deep, which is the highest depth on record. The widest point around us stretched to be about a mile, so we ended up being right in the middle of it.
The river has brought in a lot of dirt, as you can see. It's also coming under the floors, which is a bit weird. It's lifted the floors up a little bit. As you can see, there's the water and there's the wood hill. Hopefully we'll be back to normal soon and in time for Christmas.
We had to wait a couple more days after the water left the house for the road to be cleared enough to drive on. Due to the wiring of the electrics at the time, we weren't able to cook and didn't have central heating, so we were reliant on a log burner and 3 small electric heaters to remove the winter chill. We lived in a house like this for 3 weeks before finding temporary accommodation.
We drove to York on Christmas Day, only to find ourselves in the middle of Storm Eva that flooded a lot of Yorkshire. With so much devastation everywhere, the insurance companies had problems finding tradespeople.
The temporary house was a 2-bedroom flat for a family of 4 with 3 cats, 2 hamsters and fish. I had the bigger room, my sister had the small room, and my parents slept in the living room. The cats couldn't go outside like they used to because we were on a street, but they responded well to the situation.
After we'd moved in, there were several times we received notices to quit from their landlord, but it was down to the insurance not renewing the contract.
The house had to be stripped back to brick, fully rewired and decorated. It took 5 or 6 months to dry out the house with big fans and dehumidifiers.
The drying couldn't start until the strip out was completed. The project manager was based in Southampton and he appointed workers from Cramlington who weren't builders. They caused far too much damage and we had to appoint a local surveyor ourselves.
Contractors didn't seal upstairs before they started stripping out and it filled up with dust. The delay between the flood and the beginning of drying caused damp and mould upstairs.
The next builders started in July. They refused to use resilient materials and so we couldn't rely on them. We finally got the right builders in October, 10 months after the event.
The insurers were meant to list everything that was damaged and organise its disposal, but they didn't pitch up. I had to do the recording and evidenced it with over 1,000 photographs, which took over a month. Despite the builders partly causing the damage upstairs, they refused to repair it, so I did that work while cleaning all the outbuildings despite this being covered. Dealing with men in suits was more traumatic than the actual flood.
The conservatory was replaced and so were some of the windows in the house. We put the boiler in a higher place and rewired the electrics to reduce the damage if we were to be flooded again. In February 2017, we were finally ready to move back. Even with all these delays, we weren't the last to move back home.
friend flooded who lives near Warwick Road. She was evacuated to a hotel with her husband, but they both chose to move home and camp upstairs during the rebuild. When it was complete, they found it hard to adjust to having the downstairs space again and would feel safer upstairs. As you can see from our cat's reaction, it also took time for us to adjust to move back home.